Hey guys, Aaron Classic Gamer, and guess what? Yeah, it is launch night for the Nintendo Switch 2. And we picked up all this stuff. And the only thing we're missing is the Pro Controller, which we got a pre-order over at GameStop. But we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing and take a look at everything real quick. So, first of all, we've got the Go Travel case by Next. It says, protect and organize your Switch, games, and more. Made for Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch. So I'll be able to use it on both, which will be nice. It's travel ready, adds protection, and has game card storage, as you can see here. Holds 10 different cards. This was on sale for, I think, $19.99. Has a large zipped mesh pocket, as it says there. The handle is rubber, kind of like the Nintendo OEM original Nintendo Switch case, which is cool. And it says it has a deep shell compartment. Alright. And it'll hold the Switch 2, the Switch OLED, and the Switch. So that sounds awesome. Be able to use it on all those things. Let's go ahead and kind of pop it out of the box. And it just kind of slides out. Does feel nice. Very sturdy. Let's go ahead and see if we can open it up. Nothing too wild here on the zippers, because this isn't our first party product, of course. Alright, that opens up. And what is this? I don't know, maybe a strap maybe, or different cushions? Oh, I see, so it's cushions inserts you can put in there to use it on one of the other Switches, the Nintendo Switch OLED or the original Nintendo Switch. Okay, pretty cool. We'll put that over there, and there's where all your game cards go. And that's just Velcro, and I'm guessing the system just sits right down in there like it shows in the pictures. Pretty cool. We'll put this back in here so we don't lose it. And we'll test it out once we get the Switch open here in a minute. Very cool. Alright, we'll just set that over there. Kind of clean things off as we go here. Next thing, we did get a Nintendo Switch 2 commemorative coin. They were handed out there at Best Buy. Just says on the back of it, Best Buy 2025. I've gotten a couple of these coins over the years for like Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and things like that. So kind of a cool little collector's item, and they're metal, and they're just kind of neat to sit there on the desk by the game. So that's awesome. Just kind of set that aside. Alright, next we have the amazing launch game. Well, we're hoping it's amazing, right? All the reviews are pretty good, but it's Mario Kart World, which is exclusive for the Nintendo Switch 2. I do like that all the games I did see had new box art on the side, instead of just different fonts and things like that. They were pretty standardized, and of course it has the publisher, which is Nintendo, right there on the end. But that's kind of neat that the box art goes all the way from the front to the back and on the spine. Alright, it says a world awaits. Intense 24 driver competition, survive knockout tour, supports the Joy-Con 2 wheel. So that's kind of cool. We didn't pick that up, but I've always been more of a Pro Controller player. It says Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller compatible and Joy-Con 2 wheel compatible. It's 1 to 4 player in TV mode, 1 to 4 player in tabletop mode. Yep, you got tabletop mode again with the Nintendo Switch 2, which we'll check out. And then you have portable mode, 1 player. It says freely roam the open world. Up to 4 players per system. And local multiplayer. Additional accessories may be required for multiple modes, sold separately. Alright, kind of cool there, guys. We'll get out our handy dandy knife. And I'll just kind of open it up. I'm guessing there's probably no extras in here, but hard to tell. It looks like the cases are the same size as the Nintendo Switch, which is cool for collecting. Everything will just fit really nice together. Especially if you have a nice bookshelf or something everything sits on. Alright, we got all that. And here we go. Oh, cool, it's all red on the inside. which was something we kind of expected. But you kind of do have the box art because it's showing through from the reverse. I guess it's kind of reversible. So that's kind of neat. Check that out. Here's the game cart. It's all red. That's cool. Instead of like all black with just the front that would be a certain color. So that's neat. Alright. It feels about the same. New game smell. Awesome. Yeah, it seems a little lighter. Maybe it's just in my mind, but definitely cool. And it's all red and got the new logo, but it's familiar but new. And you can't miss the big 2 on the side there. Alright guys, what we've all been waiting for, the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's check out that box. We've got the new Joy-Cons, which you can use as a mouse, I guess, which is pretty cool. Let's check out this box art and everything. Alright, so it just shows the system and the controller. Very, very cool. And then on the top you've got the awesome Nintendo logo, which is timeless. On the bottom just says everything that's in there. You've got left and right Joy-Con, the console, AC adapter, USB-C charging cable, Nintendo Switch 2 dock, a Joy-Con 2 grip, which is cool. I didn't know if we were going to get one of those or not. And then there is 2 straps for that. And then there's an ultra high-speed HDMI cable. Very cool, with just pictures of what's in there. On the side, we see somebody playing the much larger screen now, it appears. Very cool. And on the back, you see the Nintendo Switch 2 in action being docked. So, very simple but elegant packaging. And then you've got tabletop mode there, guys, which I've done a lot of with the Nintendo Switch. So I'm really excited, because it looks like it's got a really cool kickstand there. Make that a lot easier. Alright, let's go ahead and open it up and check it out. Okay, I was just kind of pulling it out. Not what you're supposed to do. I try to preserve the packaging as best we can. Kind of pull that out. There we go. Without cutting it. And it just kind of pulls out and up and over, like on the OLED. There we go. That's awesome. Man, that is a lot bigger. Here's the Joy-Cons. Wow, that is a lot heavier. Let's take those out. Man, check that out. Feels comfortable. It's a lot larger than the original Joy-Cons. Let's take a look at the original Joy-Con here and see side by side. You can really see how much bigger that is. And it, you know, your triggers are, you can kind of rest your finger on the ZR a little bit more than you can there. And it's got the extra capture button there along with the home button. So it's familiar but new. The buttons here are bigger, so you can play more games. I guess a little bit easier, like you're playing Mario Kart and you kind of press in on that. Yeah, that feels good. As opposed to here, you have such small little areas to press in on. But that's okay. They're definitely fun, nonetheless. Let's check out that other Joy-Con. Alright. Yeah, very cool. And you got the accents there for the blue underneath. I like the clean black finish as opposed to the white for the OLED. You can kind of see how much bigger these are. Pretty cool. Alright guys, let's pull out the system and the dock and take a look at everything here. Put these over here, get out of the way. Man, look how big that tablet is. That's awesome. As you get older, you'll appreciate the bigger screen. Wow, look at that. So much bigger. And again, like we were talking about the Switch OLED, which had the bigger screen than the original Switch, not by much, but a little bit. You can see how big that is in comparison. That's pretty wild. Look at that. Man, oh man. Very large. Alright, let's pop these babies in. Supposedly you just kind of grab them and pop them in. Whoa, okay, cool. They do just literally click in spot. Wow, that is very, very strong. Oh yeah, this feels very good. Very, very solid. And you can't pull them out. I guess you gotta press on these triggers. Yeah, it just releases. Very cool. It just kind of plugs right back in. That is a much better design. That's great. It just feels very, very sturdy. That's a good thing. Sometimes the Switch seemed a little not too sturdy, especially where the joycons were where they attached. Alright, we've got a little safety manual. You've got our HDMI cable. And it does say Nintendo on it, just like the Switch did. Alright, we've got, let's see, the grips that go on the end of the Joy-Cons, so that's cool. And wrist straps and everything, just like you had with the original Switch. Put that back in there so we don't lose it. I'll pull this out. And we'll get to the dock and everything. I'm guessing this is the Joy-Con remote. Very cool. Yeah, that's cool. Very slick and sleek. About the same size as the original, if I remember. Nothing too wild and fancy there. It's flat here instead of it sliding down into. It's just going to click into from the side. And of course the Nintendo logo on the back. Pretty cool. Yeah, that feels good. Then we just got the standard plug, but now it's USB-C. Probably can't see that on the camera. Here we go, but it's a USB-C hookup now. Like comes with a lot of your phones. And here's the USB-C cable. It'd be cool if they labeled these Nintendo. I don't know if they did or not. That'd be a nice touch, and yes, they did. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see on the labels here, they both say Nintendo. Very, very cool, guys. There is a day one update I'm going to have to do off screen, obviously, so I can hook up my Wi-Fi and everything. Yeah, we'll check out Mario Kart. And here's the new dock. Wow, look at that. Very sleek. No hard corners. Everything's rounded. I'm told there's a fan in there and the HDMI comes out of here somehow. So I'm guessing this pulls down. Yep. And there you have the AC adapter, the HDMI out, and then a LAN adapter, which is included, which they added on the Switch 2, the Switch OLED. Very, very cool. And it does have that fan, it looks like, down inside here. Because you get an added boost of power, is what I'm told. Very, very cool, guys. Tuck that all back in there together, and we'll just see what it looks like in the dock, and then we'll see what it looks like in the case and what the Joy-Con remote looks like, because that's how we'll be probably playing it quite a bit in tabletop mode. Very cool. Gonna set all this over here. Gotta clean off the table a little bit. Alright, here we go. The moment of truth. Let's plug it into the dock here, or set it into the dock and just see how it sits. Yeah, that looks cool. Trying to center it. Yeah, you kinda gotta just get it just right, because the plug is smaller. It's USB-C, as we talked about. That looks good. So if we had it in our dock, say here, and it's on the TV, let's pop these off and see how they pop in here. Very nice. That sounds great. That feels good. Your hands it kind of goes out just a little bit more to the sides. If I had larger hands, I think I'd appreciate it just a little bit better. There's that extra button we were talking about, that capture button. That's what it looks like from behind. A little bulkier, not too crazy. Definitely very cool, guys. Let's pull this out and we'll show what the Switch 2 looks like next to an OLED Switch and next to a Switch Lite. Alright, there's that front and center. Boy, oh boy, so much bigger. It reminds me kind of like the Steam Deck, but ergonomically it feels, I don't know, just a little bit better. Can't beat that. I'm gonna get the original, there we go, not original, but the OLED Switch. You kind of see size-wise how that compares. And then of course the Switch Lite, still getting a lot of play on this as of still today. I'm gonna move this over here. Oh, it's got little grippies on the bottom, that's cool. On the dock. But there you go, there is the Switch Lite, the Switch OLED, and then finally the Switch 2 joining the family there. Wow, much, much bigger. The Switch OLED seems like microscopic now by comparison. Wow. So yeah, very, very cool, guys. Yeah, we're gonna fire it up and get Mario all loaded up into it. Kind of interested how the OLED fits in here now. Like I said, it had the inserts. I just read out of the box, I'm guessing. Yeah, so you'd have to put the inserts in because it'll not fit too well otherwise. Let's see how it fits in this case. There you go. Fits like a glove. I got the Velcro. That'll actually just sit and rest like that. And it just zips right up. On the go we go. Very cool. Alright, let's check out that kickstand and see how that looks. And that'll be the last item of business to check out here. Of course, the Switch 2 is compatible with nearly all the Switch 1 games, which is great if you have a decent collection. I've been collecting since, of course, March the 17th of 2017. Whoa! But there's the kickstand for the Switch OLED. And how that kind of just sits and comes out. It's very sturdy. A huge improvement over the original Switch's tiny, 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 tiny kickstand. And then here's the kickstand here. Very small. It's got a little give to it. Not too bad. Let's try it out in a couple different spots here. Okay, there's that. And then I think you can lay it down quite a bit all the way to there. Very cool. But we can kind of set it at a similar profile to that of the OLED. And it's very sturdy. As you can see, I can push on both switches there and not a lot of give. But that's it, guys. That's been the unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. Very, very cool, guys. Super excited to play this amazing system. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Nintendo has definitely been very thoughtful in all of its improvements to the Switch. So I feel like we're really getting the best Switch we could have there. So lots of small incremental improvements, but definitely much appreciated. And I forgot to show you on the Switch 2 that you have the USB-C on the top, as well as a headphone jack. There's your volume, up and down, power. There's your game card goes in there. It kind of just pops out. Oh, that's different. So I guess you gotta, that's really a lot more involved. I guess you put it on there and then just slide it all the way in, and it locks in. You have your speakers on both sides on the bottom, and then air cooling vents, I'm guessing, and then another USB-C port. That's it, guys. The unboxing of the Nintendo Switch 2. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. As always, guys, happy gaming. We're going to check out Mario Kart World next.